Let's see.
Well, it's getting colder here in Pennsylvania, and you know what that means. Time to think about Christmas presents.
Holiday gifts, all the fun stuff.
So we decided to put together a top 13 list, or wish list, things that we have found to be very useful, good products, and well worth presenting to your adventurer on Christmas Day.
Yeah, if you're looking for good items that are just little quick pick-me-ups or some that are a little more significant, these are things that have been tested, tried in the field in every situation you can imagine. So these are pretty tried and true for us.
Right. Some of them we just discovered this year.
True.
But,
that's true.
But we've tried them all, and we've used them enough to know that they work well for us and we can recommend them.
Definitely.
So you go first.
Okay, I'm going to start.
These are in no particular order.
Right, there's no order. So one of the things everybody talks about when you're on a trip is getting water, and we actually tend to carry water with us. And I did a video already on this Sea to Summit water bladder. It's a 4-liter bladder. It works great. It straps on easily. You can hang it. You can use it however. It's just there's several different sizes, so it's a great package to start with if you're looking for a good option for somebody just to carry water. And of course it collapses as you go. So that's one.
Right. And we forgot to mention, we'll have links in the comments for pretty much everything here. There might be a couple that we can't find. I don't know. Some we've had for a while.
Yeah. But we'll give you a comparable if nothing else. So
next up, let me grab these.
Because he might need them right now.
Yeah, I might need these right now.
Temperature's dropping fast.
I got these a few years ago. These are Glacier gloves, and they come. They really market them toward fishermen. But as a photographer, I like having my fingers free. So in that marginal weather, like today, where it's chilly enough that your hands get cold, but you want to have some mobility and be able to do things. These are a great compromise, and they pack really small. So these are good for just, around the camp, around the house, whatever you're doing, gathering firewood. I don't know how much they cost. These are these are like the simplest ones, but I like them for just packing small. So what else do we have here?
Well, let's see. We always have the tried and true Luci lights.
Luci lights. These have been around a while. These were like the first of the solar powered rechargeable lights.
And we've been using them probably 4 years?
At least.
Maybe longer?
The company that developed them for third world countries like in Africa where they didn't have reliable electricity, and they wanted to provide cheap illumination for them. And it's been copied a million times. If you go online, you're going to see all kinds of different versions of these. But these are the ones that we use still, and we really like them.
I like them because they go compact. So when we're done with them, you can just, I should have done the small one, but you can just put them back down so they travel really well. Or when you're riding, you can put them on the back of your packs and let the solar panel actually get some sunlight while you're out riding.
They have the solar, that's the bigger one, and it'll actually compress clear flat, which is pretty handy. Some of them have different colored lights. I don't know if you would even see this now, but
probably not. It's too much daylight now.
Yeah, it's not. This one, you can make it flash red. Actually, this is flashing SOS. They have one that looks like a flickering candle. It's crazy.
I guess that would be tent ambiance.
These are great little gifts for gift exchange or stocking stuffer or whatever. I don't know what they run, $10 and up.
Yeah. When we're driving, we'll stick them in a car in the dash, or when we're riding, we'll stick them on the back, just, use a carabiner, hook them on, let them get the sunlight all day, and they're ready to go every night.
Yeah. And there's a new one I just noticed that'll actually charge your phone. So there's a port built into it, and I think it's like $30, but I don't know how long it takes to charge your phone, but they keep adding features to them. They're kind of cool. Here's something bike related. I'm trying to build a toolkit so that I can be completely self-sufficient out there on the trail if something breaks. And this is one thing that most distance riders carry, is the set of tire irons. This is the first set of tire irons I got, and they're good. They're solid. They're steel, but they're heavy. And being steel, I found that they mark up the rims pretty quickly if you get rough with them like I do. So then I discovered these Tusk combination wrench and tire iron, and they're brilliant. I love them. And there are a couple other brands out there besides Tusk, but Tusk is a solid company that we have some of their products. But the cool thing is that it has the wrench for loosening up your axle nut. And then on the other end is the tire iron, the spoon. They call them spoons. These spoons, these things are super light. They're aluminum and they have a soft feel to them just all the way around. There's no sharp edges. So they don't mark up the rims as much. And I just mounted a tire a couple weeks ago using these. And much softer, much more forgiving on your rim than these steel ones. So I recommend these. I can't find them for every bike. This set is for a V-Strom or a KLR 650. Has the 22 millimeter and 24 millimeter wrench on. They do work great on the nuts on that axle. One of these, the 22 fits the big nut on the TW200, but the small nut on the other side, on the left side, is a little smaller. So then you need to use another kind of wrench on that. But at least, you know, I when I carry these, I have a set of spoons and one or two wrenches that'll work for that bike. Because those are the two bikes I bounce back and forth between. What else do we have here?
Oh, let's see.
What number were we at?
Oh no.
Well, I don't know. We've lost our count.
2, 3. I guess we're going to 4.
I guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Talk to us about all this stuff here.
I'm the fire queen. We know that. Anybody who's ever camped with me knows that I get a fire started no matter what the weather, how bad the rain, how bad the cold, we'll get it done. But this past year, I started teaching a basic survival class to women, and I started using Ferro rods. I don't know if you've ever used them or not, and I have a couple different styles here, 2 in particular. This one's a little thinner, this one's a little thicker. They come with paracord usually. They have strikers on them. This one actually has a safety whistle. Has a little tinder box with it, so you can put a little piece of tinder in there. Has the strikers and openers and everything else. But I really like these. And I actually make little tinder tins that work really well, but the striking capacity of these is so good for fires that they're worth having on hand, because you can only carry so much lighter fluid and lighters and everything else. These are really good, and they're just a great gift. They average around $10 to $15 for a set, depending on what you're trying to get. Don't tell the kids, they're all getting them this Christmas, but I've really come to like them. They just make a difference. And then,
and you've tried a couple different ones, and these are 2 that you like.
Yeah, these are 2 that I like.
And so if you look at this video that's running right now, you'll see it in action, and she's using it in Colorado. We were up in the high country on the Front Range, and worked like a charm.
Almost too good. It's a little too dry and windy.
Yeah, that was marginal conditions.
Yeah, we put that fire down pretty fast, but they work really great, really fast. Even in the rain, you know, if you find the right thing and have the right setup. I'm going to do a video sometime on my little tinder tins and show you how to use all that too, because these are worth their weight in gold no matter where you go. And they're great gifts. Easy, quick, cheap stocking stuffers for everybody. Easy to carry with you. And then you could use...
Okay, yeah. So, you know,
So
while you're setting up your, are we on 5?
I think we're on 5. I'm not sure.
So we just started using these this year. We have 2 different ones. They're made by FLEXTAIL. FLEXTAIL, and I apologize if you've known about them for a while, because we were kind of behind the curve on it. But
only because I had like a 40-year-old sleep pad.
Yeah, that didn't need inflated, but I've been using an inflatable for a while now. And so is this one yours? Yeah, this is yours. This is the tiny pump, and it actually has a light built into it. This is the inflate nozzle. There's a deflate nozzle, and it comes with all these different attachments. So whatever kind of inflatable pad you have, it'll cover it. And then a little hang hook, so you can actually use this for illumination in your tent as a little lantern. They are USB rechargeable, so built-in lithium battery. And I don't know how long they're going to last, but they've gotten us through this season, and we've been really happy with them.
But you can inflate and deflate, and then also use it as a fire.
Yeah, you can also use it as a bellows for starting your fire to give it
a little extra air if you need it.
So mine is a little bit bigger, and here's one of the attachments for it goes on there, and that's for inflating. This one, I guess it's just all business, and you know, that's if you want to annoy your neighbors when you're camping, this will do it. But no, you don't want to do that in the middle of the night. It's kind of, but yeah, and we've never run the batteries down, but we've only, did we use them on the BDR? No, we didn't have them last year.
No.
So we haven't done any long trips with them yet. We'll see. You know, we always carry a source for charging, and we could always plug them into the bike's charger if we needed to. But this one is just inflate, deflate, doesn't have a fancy light or hook or anything like that. But I'm guessing it's a bigger battery, probably holds a charge longer. Now there's a new one out, and then here, you know, here are examples of some of the different attachments. This one is for maybe, if you have a real small opening to inflate. This one's flexible. They all come with these different things, even a charging cord. Now there's a new one out that is pretty cool, and I have yet to check it out. But if you get onto the FLEXTAILGEAR website, you'll see all the different variations that you can get. And being a gadget guy, I just think these are really cool. Let's see, back to cold weather biking. These things, if you're not familiar with them, they're made by several different brands. One brand is called Hippo Hands. Hippo Hands is probably the best known. They're kind of expensive in my book. We decided to try the ones made by Oxford Gear, and these go on your handlebars. Here's a picture of them on my V-Strom. And when the cold weather, you know, the end of the year, the beginning of the year, when I'm out riding and there's a chance of snow and all that kind of stuff, these can save your life. I'm telling you, I used to make fun of them. These ones are fleece lined inside. They fit just about any kind of bike. We've tried them on, I think, 3 different bikes.
I love mine.
And combined with heated grips. Wow. Even without heated grips, they make a big difference. They cut the wind. In rain, they're going to keep the rain off your hands, so you're not going to get soaked as fast.
I wouldn't be able to ride in these type of temperatures without them.
But they're kind of a universal fit, and you can make them fit. It takes a little bit of wrangling at the beginning until you figure it out for your bike. But we'll link these down below. I think you can get them on Amazon, but I'm not sure. Either way, we'll provide a link to them, and you can check them out. A lot cheaper than Hippo Hands and some of the other brands. Oxford makes some pretty good affordable stuff. So that's what number
6?
Were we at? 6, 7,
I think somewhere in there. I'm losing track.
Well, so what else do we have here?
Well, I'm going to talk about our chairs for a second then, because we love our chairs and we get asked about these all the time. They actually fold down into this little pouch, and a lot of people, there's several different varieties out there. These are called Sportneer. I think they're pretty similar across the board. You can get higher backs or lower backs on them. They have ventilation on the back. You know, they just break down into one nice little package that goes on your bike really easily, and we have used them everywhere. And
there are some fancy, expensive brands. We're cheapskates, so.
But we've been using them probably 8 years, 7 or 8 years. Like, we've had them for a long time.
They feel fragile when you sit on them, but we have yet to bend anything or break anything on them. One drawback is that the feet will sink into the ground, and right now we have pretty wet ground here in Pennsylvania. And they will sink in, and we've actually lost the rubber feet that are on them. But we found these things, they just slip on.
They're just a little mesh
it's like
base.
a webbing, you know, mesh, and they won't sink down in. So we'll put a separate link for those. And that's kind of universal with these chairs. It'll fit most brands.
So we're really happy with these. Like I said, we've been using them for years now, and I don't think we ever go anywhere where somebody doesn't ask us about them. So they're just really great and useful. Easy to pack, easy to carry. We go pretty minimal on the bikes, and we've got it dialed in pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's luxury backpacking.
Luxury backpacking. For us, it is, definitely.
So...
Well, that would be luxury.
Let's go with this. This is probably the most expensive thing on our list, and this is the if you're into camera gear at all, you've heard of these already, and you might have noticed on our videos and everybody else's that they get these 360-degree super wide angle shots, and it looks like a drone flying over, but it's not. And so this is the Insta 360. This is the old X2 version. The new one is out, the X3, but it's Insta 361 X2. I don't know if these are still available. but the new one is good. It's you know, when we add a second one, we'll get that new one. It has a bigger display, has a little bit better resolution, and just an improved version of this. But this thing's been rock steady. I can't complain. It's been, and then this is, so if you ever notice, it looks like it's hovering and there's no stick or anything holding it, because it uses this technology within the firmware that automatically eliminates, and this is what the stick looks like, and it's extendable, and you can get these in different lengths too. But
well, there are different mounts you do.
It's a universal mount, and you can mount it in all kinds of different ways. You can mount the front of your bike, the back of your bike, or, you know, like I do a lot, I just walk around. If we're hiking, I'll just hold it up, and it's sort of like having our own personal drone follow us around. You put it behind you, then it looks like, you know, a drone is following you, and put it in front of you, and you can have it point whatever direction you want.
It's definitely been a fun addition to what we've been doing with the videos.
Yeah, these came out a few years ago, and they've just taken the adventure camera world by storm. So they're a good little tool to have in addition to a GoPro or DJI or whatever you're using. These little things, you know, if you're looking for another inexpensive stocking stuffer or whatever, these things are a hoot. I don't know how we lived without them. When I was a kid, we didn't have any such thing. But it's just a telescoping hot dog marshmallow fork.
Yeah.
And they thought of some pretty cool things. They put a little ring on there that you can hold, so you can rotate it while you're cooking.
No, you're not supposed to have sore face.
Yeah. And then and the tongs are not sharpened, so they pack well without piercing through your stuff. And you don't need them that sharp anyway. A hot dog's going on there, marshmallow's going on there, it doesn't matter. And this is one version of it, and then this is another version where you could put like multiple marshmallows on it. Like a little
tree.
And yeah, a marshmallow tree.
Yep.
So
easy to pack, they take up no space.
Yeah, you can get them anywhere, but we'll put a link in the comments for these. And it's just a cool thing.
Something fun to include.
Over the past year, we added, let's see, we got this last year, didn't we?
Yeah, we got it last year.
We were looking for, you know, if you've watched any of our videos, you know I make these really simple alcohol stoves that cost nothing but an old pop can, and they burn rubbing alcohol or gas line antifreeze, you know, that kind of stuff.
And they're incredibly efficient.
They are great. But we thought we'd try something. We'd go the expensive route. And this is one of the more expensive of the ultralight stoves. MSR is a brand that's been around forever. They know their stuff. And the stories about these stoves are, you know, I handed this down to my kids and they use it, and it's been around the world and everything. So one of the reasons we went with this, now you can get your Jetboil. Jetboil's a big name, and then there are a million different knockoff brands out there. Even there are knockoffs of this, but it's very basic. But what the one selling point for us was, you could get the sealed canister and run butane with it, or you could add a liquid fuel canister that can be pressurized just by hand pumping it, and hook that on. And then the cool thing is this will run on gasoline. Since we're riding bikes around that run on gasoline, we're always going to have a fuel supply for our stove.
And we always have the roto packs.
So it keeps the fuel side of things simple. And that's probably the main reason we went with this. And the little alcohol stoves don't do well in wind. Today we'd be struggling to use one because we've got some wind going on. This thing does much better in wind. The downside of it is it doesn't simmer. Doesn't have, you know, simmering. You can turn the flame up and down a bit, but it's not as good at simmering as some of the other ones out there. And it's the starting part of it is a little bit weird. You got to prime it, and then you get a big flame and let it go down to a blue flame, all that stuff. But
it's worked great.
But it's reliable.
It's been great.
Absolutely reliable
at elevation and lower.
Yeah,
we've had no problem.
Yeah, that's the thing about at different altitudes, this thing will still work just fine. So we like it. And
yeah, we're generally just heating water for the most part. We don't try to get too fancy in our camp food yet. I know everybody likes that side of things, but we just like to enjoy the ride and just not to get too complicated with what we take with us or the food we take with us. So that's been nice.
so there's only one thing left on the list, and it's number, what, 13?
Maybe
Are we at
12, 13?
I don't know, but tell us about this.
Oh, our
this
little
thing.
table. So just like the chairs fold up, this basically, see if I can reach it here, folds into this little compartment. So all the legs collapse down, you know, you roll them together, do like a little roll with everything. Everything comes apart. So we have a little table always with us. And that's great. You know, you don't always have something out there. We're not always camping at a campsite. A lot of times we'll be wild camping, and, you know, you can use a rock or you can use a tree stump if it's there, but this way we always have a table. And also, you know, if the weather's bad and we're inside the tent underneath the vestibule, you know, it gives us a chance to put certain things up and keep them off the ground if we need it, if it's a little bit wet or whatever. That's actually been one of the biggest
And
helps.
it has little
Right.
cup
holders.
holders
Yeah.
that work for some things, not for everything.
Yeah, they're a little narrow that way, but
and
they
this
work
one, this particular one came from Sportsman's Outfitters.
oh, is that okay?
Yes, no, Sportsman's Warehouse is where this came from. And I don't have an online source for these. I actually went to the store and got it, but we'll link below on one that's very similar that Amazon has, and it's not real expensive. But the other option is the aluminum ones. If you've seen them, they make them. Some are plastic, but the aluminum ones are very popular, and they're good because you can cook on them. You don't have to worry about melting the fabric, but they're bulkier. So we just haven't gone that route. We're trying to stay as compact as possible, and they roll up too, but they're, you know, they're more like this big around. But they are nice, the ones I've seen. One thing I forgot here. This is just a stupid little thing that, you know, another one of my gadget things. This is a USB cord, and I don't ever need one this long, but I couldn't find them any shorter, that both ends are actually a right angle plug. And it sounds like such a simple thing, but sometimes that's really nice. When I'm running my phone on the bike, it helps me keep everything more tight on the handlebars and on the controls. So I've really grown to like this. It's just one of those things. You can get them on Amazon, and I'll link them below. But that's one thing we wanted to mention. Another great stocking stuffer if you have somebody who's into gadgetry and just looking for a really simple solution for charging and all that stuff.
So we have a lot more other items that we use, we pack, and we still are really minimalized when we travel by the bike and do like a week-long camping trip or whatever. But we'll probably do separate videos on those, whether it's the pads that we use, or I know we've done some things with the tent before that we've shown you some videos. So there's a lot of other things that make it easy out there. And we tend to prefer to camp, you know, whether it's wild camping or, you know, at a campsite, an actual campsite. But it's easy to get out there and go with really not a whole lot of extra gear, but detailing the kind of gear that you need makes a big difference too. So you're not overpacking or underpacking.
Yeah. And we're very comfortable when we're out there. Just, you know, the technology today makes camping easier than ever before, and so we just thought we'd share some of the things that we've learned to appreciate along the way.
Definitely a lot of fun. Have some fun shopping this year. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you do, enjoy it and get together and have a great time.
Merry Christmas.